Okay, cool. Very cool. All right, welcome everybody. This is day 2, Tuesday the 8th for government. So we're just going to spend a couple minutes reviewing like bell schedule, make sure that we're all good, attendance, grading. All this is posted in the Canvas announcements, so I won't go over it super in detail today because we did that yesterday. And then I want to at least get our notebook set up today because then tomorrow during the even odd day. So we'll actually meet on Thursday. That way we've already gotten started and we'll spend the entire period, working on the assignments that are due for this week. Okay. So just quick review. Remember that this week, Monday, Tuesday, so today and Friday, you are attending all classes. So Friday, we are attending class. Okay. So I will see you on that Friday. We'll be doing the schedule like we're doing today. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday, that'll be odd classes, 1, 3, 5, 7. And Thursday will be even 2, 4, 6, 8. So I won't see you tomorrow, but then I'll see you on Thursday, okay, for period 2. So depending on which day you have this class. Starting next week, so this is when we get the good schedule, right? This week it's a lot. We're attending classes every day and stuff like that. Next week is really nice. That's when we start the regular schedule. So Monday, Friday are small group. Mondays for odd classes, Fridays for even classes. Remember, though, I will have a Google Meet open for anyone that wants to, 9 to 11:15 a.m. This is on my homepage, so you don't have to remember this. And then the code is NVLA K Hall SG. All right. And you can drop in anytime if you have any questions or need additional assistance. Okay. Every Tuesday, like today, we will be attending all classes. These will be those 40 minutes, really quick classes. And then the Wednesday, Thursday, those will be the modified block. Where you're in 80-minute classes, Wednesday odd and Thursday even. I posted this schedule in the Canvas announcements as well. So if you want to download it or print it off so you can keep track, that's helpful. Big thing with grading, just remember that the minimum F is gone, okay, for formative and summative assignments. So the minimum F only applies now, and this is CCSD policy, for quarter and semester grades. So if you get below a 50%, that you would be rounded up to the 50%. But other than that, if you don't do an assignment, it will go in as missing. Or if you score below a 50%, that grade stands unless you resubmit it or unless you reassess, okay? Remember, formative is 10%, summative is 90%. So as I get into the module today, I'll kind of point out what's going to be formative, what will be summative, so that you get at least a general picture of that. And then remember, on summatives, you are allowed to retake. It just needs to be within that late period, okay? So you take it. If you want to retake it, that it gets done within that late period before it closes. So remember, the late window is 1 week, okay? So the late window is 1 week. So for example, if things are due on the 11th, then they would close on the 18th, okay? So giving you that 7-day window from the due date. Any questions on any of that? And again, all this I posted in the announcements. So if you need to go back and review anything or if you have questions, the general information is there. Oh, no. So the retake, what I mean by that is that, let me clarify that and stuff. So what I mean by that is on the formative work that goes with it. Okay. So if you get an 80% on the quiz and you want to retake, yes, you can retake. I'm not going to deny you your retake. What I'm saying is in order to retake, I want to make sure that the formative work that goes with the assessment was completed at 70% or better. Does that make sense? So like if there's a workbook that you have to do, I want to make sure that's done. Because what will happen sometimes is students will just go straight to the quiz and they don't want to do the work and then they want to keep reassessing. And that's not what it's meant for. It's meant to assess your learning. And if you haven't done the learning, then you shouldn't be reassessing. Does that make sense? Yeah, until you've done the learning, then you can reassess. Does that make sense? So sorry if I didn't word that very well. So 1 retake will be allowed given that the assignments are completed at 70% or better, showing yes. But if you get an 80%, you want to reassess. Absolutely. Okay. Okay, attendance. Remember that this week going to all classes. Okay, that's how you'll get attendance. Next week, the Monday, Friday, you will fill out the attendance form, and we'll go over that on Friday. So Friday, I'll just keep you really short. You'll come to class, we'll fill out the attendance form, and then you'll be free to go and stuff and work on the things that we will go over on Thursday that are due Monday. All due dates for this class are going to be on Monday. So we'll work on things this week, they're due Monday. Next week, what we work on, it's due the following Monday. Now, if we don't have class on a Monday, then it will be due the Friday, okay? So most of the time, things will be due the following Monday. That way you have Friday and Monday to work on things for class and get them done. And then Tuesday is kind of the beginning of our week or when we will start the new lesson. So it'll be due the following Monday. But if for some reason we don't have school on a Monday, then it'll be due Friday, okay? You still have that week late window. So if you don't get it done Friday, you still have that extra time. But I wanted to keep consistency of when things will be due. So Monday, Friday, you'll fill out those attendance forms because remember that small group day. Small group is not required. You may go again for that assistance. The attendance forms have to be done by noon though. So you want to make sure those are done by noon. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you attend class. So Tuesday, all classes, Wednesday, odd classes, Thursday, even classes. So for period 2, I'll see you on Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay? And stuff. Scholars, your attendance starts next week. And so I should be getting that list. If for some reason I don't mark you or something like that, then just go ahead and send me your acceptance letter. But wait, and let's see if your name makes it on the list. But sometimes a name falls through the cracks or something, and you just send me the acceptance letter and then we can clear it up. It's not a big deal. Any questions on attendance? My contact, again, is on the homepage, right? So emailing me, you can send me through Canvas. Coming to the live sessions during class, you can always ask me a question, especially those first couple minutes. We usually kind of hanging out waiting for people to join. And then you can always come to small group, okay? Okay. So we talked about some interesting stuff. Thank you everyone for sharing and stuff. It's really awesome. All the hobbies you have and the things you're into and your talents and things like that. It's really awesome. So for today, what we're going to do is we are going to get into our module 1 and start working on our first worksheet. Okay. So if you haven't already, go ahead and get Canvas open, and we're going to jump over. And while you're getting Canvas open, I just wanted to show you really quick. So in the announcements, I put the NVLA absence form. So if you are ever absent and you need to get that excused, the link is right here. Okay. So teachers are not able to excuse absences. So even if you email me and you're like, I had a doctor's appointment, you're right. Okay. Yes, you went to the doctor. I don't have the authority though to excuse that. You have to fill out the attendance form. Just like at a brick and mortar, you would have to go to the attendance office and turn in your slip. The teacher doesn't have that authority. So in this case, the link is like going to the attendance office. You want to make sure it's done within 3 school days. Okay. Within 3 school days of your absence in order to get it excused. Okay. And so the link will be there and you can use that link for any of your classes. Okay. So if you miss 8th period or, whatever, it's the same link for all of them. Okay. Any questions on the link or absences? So, all right, awesome. Starting this week, I have a tab called Lessons and Recordings. So every week I will add a tab to this or a page to this. And basically what it will have is it will have the outline of what we're doing for the week and any important documents. Also, like the recording I'm doing right now, I will post that for Tuesday. So if you ever miss class or you need to go back, like we worked on something in class and you want to go back and see how I covered it or instructions or things like that, then those playbacks will be added to the bottom of that live session page each week. I'll be giving you review sheets each week for your quizzes. They will always be linked here. We'll be doing Kahoots in class reviewing for your quizzes. They are here. So these review sheets that I'll give you, and we'll go over this more tomorrow, you are able to use those on the assessment, okay? So on the Module 1, Lesson 1 assessment, you may use them. It can be digital form or it can be paper form. You just have to show the proctor in Honor Lock before you start. Okay, so this is where you'll find them, and that'll be in that first module, and each week I will add to it. Any questions on that? Doing okay? All right. Thank you. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, so module 1, this is where we're going to be starting, and this is what we're working on this week. You have 3 things that are due this week, okay? You have the notebook. We're going to start that today. There's a Declaration of Independence analysis, and then you have a quiz, all right? So today we're going to start the notebook, and we're going to get through a couple, it's basically as much as we can get through before the end of the period. Tomorrow, or I guess on Thursday, when we meet again for our block schedule, we will continue to work on the notebook. I also will work with you on the project. We won't be able to get it all done during class, but then you'll have Friday, Monday to finish that. Also, then we'll review for your quiz, and then you have that review sheet. So when you finish the notebook and the Declaration of Independence worksheet, then you would take that knowledge, you would review, and then you would go and take the quiz. The quiz is 10 questions, okay? So we're going to start up here on our overview page. So there are 4 sections to module 1. We are doing lesson 1. So there's 4 different lessons. Basically, we're going to be doing a lesson a week. Okay, so we'll be in module 1 for 4 weeks. This week, we're doing lesson 1. So we're going to be doing the philosophical foundations. Next week, we'll be doing constitutionalism. The following week, Articles of Confederation. The following week, federalism. So basically, we'll be doing 1 lesson per week. Okay, we'll start it on the Tuesday and we'll continue working on it on that odd or even day when we meet. One additional thing you do need to do before you take your quiz, you need to complete the Honor Lock practice quiz. Okay, so that is located right here at the top of Module 1. So before you take the Quiz 1 assessment, Module 1 Lesson 1 assessment right here, okay, this needs to be taken. All right, and that's just to make sure that your settings are all set up correctly. Okay, it's real quick and stuff, so it shouldn't be a problem. But again, you want to make sure that you have a camera and you need to have an ID, right? So you have to have a web camera because you have to have that on while they're testing for testing security. And then you need to have some form of ID, you know, showing that you are you, that your sibling or twin or somebody or friend isn't taking the quiz for you. Okay, so to verify your identity. All right. Any questions on Honor Lock? So the resources for that are in your guidance class, right? You just have to take that quick practice quiz. Okay, that's all right. We're just getting into the module 1 and I'm just going over some basics. I'm also recording this, so anything you missed, you can go back and rewatch it a little bit later today when I post it. Okay, so once we're doing that, all right, we're gonna go here to the overview page, module 1, lesson 1 overview page. Let's click on that. So that's gonna have the overview of the lesson, which remember we're doing 1 lesson per week, okay? So in this lesson, we're going to be looking at Aristotle, political theory, natural rights, Thomas Hodge, John Locke, life, liberty, property, right to property. So basically, we're looking at things that are leading up to the Declaration of Independence, things that influenced our founding documents for our government. Because remember, this is American government, U.S. government. So the goal of this lesson is to kind of do a quick overview, and it's quick, but a quick overview of what led to, and not just the independence that we took from Britain, but the founding documents, the Declaration of Independence, and eventually then the writing of the Articles of Confederation and the Constitution. All right, we're going to go to the next page. Now, this page is important because this is where you're going to get your notebook, and you want to open your notebook because then you work on the notebook as you go through the next pages, okay? So once you're on this page, we're going to click on Access the Notebook. You're going to open up Make a Copy. So you should be doing this with me right now. So like I said, I do this stuff in class and I expect you to do it with me. So work with me, don't ignore me. Okay, so there's 3 things, and the first couple weeks I'll do this slowly with you, and after that then I'll just say open up your notebook, get it ready, because it's going to be basically the same routine. Every Tuesday we're going to look at the overview page and we're going to get our notebook started, and then on Wednesday or Thursday when we meet, which for this class will be Thursday, then that's when we'll pick up where we left off and continue working and then review for the quiz. And then you have Friday and Monday to get them done, and they are due on Monday. Okay. So the notebook opens. There's a couple things you're going to do. You're going to want to take out this copy of, you can rename it, you can put your last name or whatever you want. So rename it. Okay. You want to create a government folder. So on your drive, you want to save it to your drive so that when you come back to work on it, because we won't complete the whole thing today in class, we'll get maybe 1 or 2 things done today in class. Normally it'll go a little bit faster, but because this is our first time. All right. So I would just create a government folder. So maybe click plus, put government, and then you save things there. I would honestly create a folder for each of your classes. And then this is a great way to keep yourself organized. All right. So rename it, go here, make a folder, and then say move here. And then that will save it there. And then when we come back to class, then that's where you access it. The last thing you need to do is you need to make it shareable. Okay, so you're going to open up, it's going to have your name on it, and then you need to make it shareable with anyone with the link. That way when you submit it, I can grade it. If I can't open it, then I'm going to have to say can't grade it, you need to resubmit it. And then it becomes annoying for you, it's annoying for me. So just off the bat, anytime you do a new document, make it shareable, because then you're going to submit that link, right, when we finish this. Okay, so give me a thumbs up when you have the document open, renamed, saved, and shareable. So you're ready to go. And again, you can find this document if you go to modules. This will be in the first part of the lesson. So we are in module 1, lesson 1, philosophical foundations, notebook. So this is our overview page, and we're on the notebook page. Okay. Are we good if I keep going? Okay, so you want to have this open in one tab, and then you want to have Canvas open in the other tab, okay? Because you'll kind of basically toggle back and forth. All right. And this is how you'll do them with me, but also when you work on your own. Okay. And if you're a scholar, then obviously, if you don't come to class, then you would be doing this on your own. This is how you would do it. Okay. So we're going to click next in Canvas. And here's where we're going to find the intro to the lesson. So U.S. federal government has been shaped by various factors, political, institution, founding documents. What or who influence in creation of these documents in state governments? In this lesson, you'll explore all those influences, okay? So the first thing in your notebook, it's going to say, what is the supporting question? And they want you to write it here, okay? You can find that on this first page, supporting question. What philosophical ideas informed the founding generation? Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat for you, and you can copy and paste this into your notebook. It's going to go right here in number 1. So you can copy and paste it directly from Canvas, or you can take it from the chat. Right? I'll give you about 1 minute to do that. And then we're going to move on to the vocab. Like I said, I'm literally going to do it step by step with you. Okay? Especially these first couple weeks, I will really break it down for you and try to make sure that we're all on the same page. So you're doing the first part of the notebook, which is this right here, the supporting question. You're copying and pasting that from the chat, or you can get it directly off of the page, okay, which is Philosophical Foundations Introduction. Give me a thumbs up when you're good. So the question is, what philosophical ideas informed the founding generation? So we're going to be looking at different documents and people and ideas today, and then mostly on Thursday, that then form that Declaration of Independence to officially basically go to war with Britain and break up with the most powerful nation in the world at the time. The British Empire in the 1700s was the largest, most powerful empire in the world. So picking a fight with the most powerful empire in the world, that takes some guts. You got to be really mad. That'd be like picking a fight with the biggest person in the room and you're the smallest person in the room. Like, is that really something you want to do? Is that really a good idea? You must be really mad, or there's something really bad must have happened. And so we're looking at that in this lesson. Okay, let's take a look at the vocab. So if we look at the next part of it, it says key vocab clues. All right, so they want the context clue and then the definition in your own words. So where you find that is here, it has the context clues. Okay, so your first word is the most democratic or character of a society is the higher chance of civic virtue will be present. So, oops. All right, is it going to let me highlight it? It's not going to let me highlight it. Okay, so you could either type it out, all right, or I'm going to be really nice and I'm going to copy and paste this in the chat for you. All right, like I said, coming to class, there are perks, okay? So you're going to put that in your first part for your context clue, civic virtue, okay? And then in your own definition, all right, for civic virtue, when citizens actually work towards society. So civic virtue is the idea that everyone is invested in trying to do their part. So an example of civic virtue would be like paying my taxes, going the speed limit, you know, helping someone out, picking up trash, you know, things that are helping my society, whether that's financially, by obeying the laws, or by doing something that I see that needs to be done. If I steal, if I do property damage, that's obviously not my civic virtue, right? I am hurting society. I'm not helping society. Okay, so you copy and paste and you can put those in your chart. I'm going to keep going. All right, so civic virtue, then we have common good, puts others' interests before oneself. So these are key things that are going to be a part of what virtues or ideas do you need to have in order to be a part of a thriving society, okay? So putting others' interests before your own. And this is true for a society to work. The reality is that the most successful societies meet the needs of the many, not the few. If it's all about me and nobody else matters, I'm thriving, but everybody else might not be thriving. So the goal of a government is that the goal of government is to try to meet as many needs as possible, to many people's needs as possible. So to create policies and ideas and laws that protect or promote as many people as possible. If it's all about the individual, we'll never get anywhere and society can't thrive. So it's that idea of, you know, meeting the needs of the majority, the best of your ability. The reality is, and we'll talk about this when we get to economics, the reality is that no one country can meet all the needs of every single person. It's literally impossible. No country has been able to do it. It's not possible. We want to, but it's not physically possible. We will always fall short in some way, shape, or form. And I know for people who are, very ideal and this and that, they don't like to hear that. And that doesn't mean we can't help more people. That doesn't mean we can't do better. It's just kind of accepting some realities of how human life functions and how governments functions. Okay, inalienable rights. So inalienable rights. The Declaration of Independence provides inalienable rights such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of property. So this is the idea through this word that we're going to see in our documents, that the idea or one of the goals of the founding of this country. So now we're going to jump back over. We're doing this part of the chart. So you can copy and paste this from the chat. I'm going to do the context clue, and then I'll give you in your own words. Give me a thumbs up if you're following me. Thumbs down if you need me to slow down. Let me know how we're doing. We're doing okay? All right, so this is the third one. So I'll keep talking while you're doing this, okay? So one of the things we're going to notice is that the reason that the people, the colonists broke away from the British is they felt that their rights were being violated, that they were British citizens and they weren't being respected as that. And we'll talk a little bit, we'll get more into that on Thursday when we look at like the Magna Carta and having a constitutional monarchy like they had in Britain. So some of this will be a little repetitive because you probably went over this in US history a bit as well, but that's okay. There's always a little bit of overlap, which is good for reviewing and kind of remembering those old ideas from other classes. Okay, our next one is natural rights. Natural rights can be found in the given rights we were born with. So the idea of natural rights is that just by being human, Aristotle will determine that as non-slaves. And over time, obviously during ancient time, Aristotle goes all the way back to Greek period. So like 400 BCE. Slavery was common practice. Okay. So that wasn't necessarily condemned. Obviously today we condemn slavery. We've done that for quite a while, since the 1860s, the Civil War. It says slavery is wrong. So originally natural rights was seen as anyone born free. So if you were born into slavery, this didn't apply to you. Over time, we've redefined this right with government documents and in different societies that no, this should be all people, right? And that slavery in any form is wrong. But it's interesting sometimes looking at the root. So all humans are born with certain natural rights, which in our founding documents are going to be life, liberty, which is freedom, and then the pursuit to own property, to have a business, to go to school. And we've expanded upon that over time, right? The right to pursue things. Doesn't guarantee it will happen, but you have the right to try it, right? You have the right to be offered those things. Okay, our last one. And then this is where we can end for the day, is state of nature. So government does not exist in a state of nature, okay? So meaning it's something that is socially constructed, okay? It's not a natural state. So I don't go out the door and there's naturally a government. Government is something that we have constructed, that is society constructed, right? And so our government looks different than the British government, looks different than the French, looks different than the Chinese, looks different than Russia. Like these are socially constructed concepts, and each government has a different look to them. So we have kind of the term government for central leadership, right, of a people, right, unifying and ruling and guiding a people, keeping law and order with the people. But how that happens can be very different, right? Depending on what country or society in history you've been a part of. No two governments are the same. The government does not exist in a state of nature. And that means way of life before government existed. So life existed long before government. Government is more of a modern era concept. Now, if we go back to like tribes and things like that, there's forms of governments, right? There's the idea of leadership or councils or things like that. And over time, government has evolved much more than it was originally. But the idea of having someone in charge, having leadership, that is not new, right? Any society that doesn't have leadership does fall into chaos. And the reality is because people are selfish and people take advantage. So all of us could be doing our, things for the common good or our civic virtue. But if 2 people aren't, what's that do to the rest of the people? If you have 10 people and 2 are stealing and 2 aren't working and 8 are doing the right thing and 8 are working and these other people are getting away with it, it discourages those 8, right, from doing the right thing if 2 are getting away with that. So government has come in, right, to try to create consistency and stability so that when people aren't doing their civic duty or aren't doing things for the common good, that there's a way to correct that. So if I'm speeding, that could be a citation, right? A speeding ticket. If I murder someone, then that means I shouldn't probably be in society. I should probably go to jail. So we have different levels of consequences, right? When we are not doing our civic virtue or doing things for the common good. Okay, how are we doing? Give me a thumbs up if you got the vocab done and you got that supporting question done. We're good. All right, awesome. So I'm going to stop there just because I want to stay at the same pace with each class today. And then Thursday, we will jump in and I will work through a good chunk of this worksheet with you. Some of this you will do on Friday or Monday in your individual work time. And then also we will look at the Declaration of Independence worksheet. So I'll work with you on that on Thursday. We'll do about half the period on this and we'll do about half the period on the independence worksheet. And then I'll spend about the last 10 minutes reviewing for your quiz. So I have a quick Kahoots game and then I have a review sheet that you can use. So you can actually physically use, right? You can print it off and have it hard copy, or you can use it digitally. You just have to show the proctor. So if it's on your screen, you have to show them. That can be the only other tab you have open, or if you have it on another device, you have to show the proctor that and stuff, just so that they know that's what you're using. You're not looking up answers and stuff. Also, as we go through, we'll be doing different sections. There's a checking for understanding question. So I'll go over that with you on Thursday. And a lot of times those checking for understanding questions are questions that you will see possibly on the quiz. So I'll kind of show you that little hint that you want to make sure that we're not skipping those, because that's an easy way to kind of get it. Ooh, this might be a question on the quiz that I can study and make sure I know. So if I get the same question, then I should be good to go. All right. So I will see you on, this is period 2. So depending what period you have, but for period 2, I will see you on Thursday. All right. And we'll be meeting for those 80 minutes. And then also really quick on Friday. Friday, we're just going to meet very, very briefly. We're going to fill out the attendance form and I will let you go and work. Okay. So you can get this done. You can get the Declaration of Independence sheet done and then get that assessment done. All right. All of which will be due on Monday. All right. If you have any questions, stay behind. Otherwise, have a great day. Please make sure you save this in your government folder. All right. And then we will open this right back up beginning of class on Thursday. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye. Have a good day, everybody.